Sup, bros? I'm Terry Bull, and I'm going to take a slight break from breaking down that intersectionality article for you, bros. I've read through it so many times, and I just feel like thinking and talking about something else for a change. I'll get to the second part of it soon, but I just wanted to get this out. And I want to talk about the origins of Tau Rho Sigma and what it means to me, and because it will explain my way of thinking about dialogue between various different opinions, because this is something that's pretty near and dear to my heart, and another topic that I'll get to at the end of the video. Tau Rho Sigma was founded by my great-great-great-grandfather Derek Pendable as a way for Bull Bros to get together and talk and discuss things, because he realized that there's not that many venues open to, talk about deep subjects. And he realized also pretty quickly that when people have vastly different opinions, there has to be some framework and common ground between them if they're going to come to a better understanding of each other in a constructive way that doesn't end up with just yelling and beer bottles being thrown everywhere and tables being flipped, etc. And so he founded Tau Rho Sigma under the principles of trust, respect, and sanity. As I've mentioned numerous times, our Tau Rho Sigma's motto is trust is given, respect is mutual, and sanity is required. And I'm going to explain exactly what that means now. Trust is given is basically that when you're having a discussion with another bro, you have to give them the benefit of the doubt that they are giving what they're saying is what they believe to be true, and they're being genuine with what they're saying. They're not trying to necessarily manipulate you. If they are, it will come up in the discussion, and you will be able to figure that out later. But at the beginning, especially if you don't know this person, give them the benefit of the doubt that they are being genuine with what they're saying. Now, like I mentioned, trust can be gained and lost and strengthened, all that throughout the conversation, but you have to give the other person the benefit of the doubt, which also enables them to be able to trust you. Because if they feel that they're being listened to, they're going to be more likely to tell the truth. Respect is mutual is similar to the trust, is that there has to be a minimum of respect between the two parties involved. When you're talking, you have to acknowledge that the person you're talking to is in fact a person, and not just the ideology that they're representing. You offer them your respect, and hopefully they will reciprocate with their respect. And like with trust, respect can be gained and lost and everything through the actions between you and them in the discussion. But there has to be a modicum of respect there to begin with. But it's mainly a way of knowing when to just let a conversation die and walk away with, a shred of dignity between the two of you. It's not a free pass to, if they show you disrespect, that you can just disrespect them, because negative reciprocity just has a tendency to keep going in a cycle over and over again and fueling anger over and over again. And the final concept is sanity, which ties back into both trust and respect. Now, with sanity, we're not talking about mental stability, although if you find out for a fact that you're talking to someone who is mentally unstable, deal with it in the most tactful way possible and the most appropriate way possible. But what we're talking about is another minimum of an understanding between both bros in the discussion. First off, the main part is that arguments that are made are rooted in objectivity and rationality. It has to be based off of facts and reality, and not just totally on emotions and rhetoric. So if you're talking to someone and they're just trying to pull at your heartstrings with emotional arguments, then you obviously can't trust them to have a constructive conversation, in which case, if they continue doing that, then you're free to leave the conversation. At the same time, you have to be sensitive to the fact that as animals, that we are not totally immune from our emotions, and given that some conversations can delve into deeply personal subjects, that emotions can run high sometimes. And it has to be understanding that if someone goes off on an emotional tangent and it's pointed out to them that, okay, maybe we should take this conversation, let it simmer for a while, and come back when we're both more level-headed, because it can happen on both sides. I am guilty of giving into my emotions and arguing based off how I feel and not facts before. And so there has to be an understanding that that happens, and when it does happen and both acknowledge it, that the conversation can continue afterwards. Now, if the person does not acknowledge it and continues it, then obviously that can end up in a loss of trust and respect. And you can just leave that bro alone and they'll dig their own hole on the way out. The third and final main issue of sanity is having a sense of humor. Because humor is a very powerful thing. It can help illustrate a point and drive home a point, and there's so many different uses of humor, and it can lighten a conversation and make more people and gain trust and everything, and make a bro more easy to talk to. So both bros in the conversation need to be able to have a sense of humor. At the same time, you need to realize that not everyone will have the same sense of humor as you, and might not find everything you say funny in the same way. They might not get the joke. They might not find it funny. They might actually get offended by it. And in part, you have to be understanding of that. If a bro doesn't find what you say funny, and they say, okay, I don't really find that funny, could we talk about it in a different way? Sanity is being respectful of that. Now, there's a difference between saying, I don't like that, being genuine about it, and saying, I don't like that, as a way of shutting down the conversation and twisting it and using it to manipulate. There are some people who genuinely won't find certain things funny and will genuinely feel bad if something is brought up, if they've had certain experiences in their life. And you need to be considerate about that. But if it comes out and you realize that they are using it as a way of manipulating the conversation and not listening to what you have to say and demeaning you in some sort of way, then obviously that breaks both the trust of the agreement and respect, and so you can end the conversation there. But it's basically being grounded in objectivity and truth and fact, being able to have a sense of humor, but at the same time understanding that the other person might not find what you're saying funny in the same way, and just being logical, yet at the same time empathetic to the other person's emotional needs, as long as they are also ready to respect yours. It has to be mutual between both bros in the conversation, otherwise nothing's going to happen. But yeah, that's trust, respect, and sanity in the nutshell. I bring this up because I am not a perfect bull, and so I have failed in the past and I will probably fail in the future, although I do my best to keep these standards in mind. And so I want you bros to know that the Tau Rho Sigma ideal is my ideal and how I intend to carry out my discussions. And if any of you bros catch me breaking one of these, let me know. Please do so in a respectful way, but please let me know. I want you bros to know that I am not above criticism, and I openly welcome criticism. And if I say something that is objectively wrong, please let me know. I will correct myself, and I want to be held accountable for my mistakes. That's really it. At the same time, I would like to open the entire Tau Rho Sigma philosophy to any of you bros watching, because I believe that it is a very constructive way of having conversations. But let me know what you bros think, and in the comments on Twitter, I'm Terry Bull on Twitter and Gab, and I'm probably going to open up a Minds sometime soon, probably after I'm done with this entire intersectionality thing, because that's taking a lot of my time right now. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you think I should clarify something, anything. I love talking with all you bros on YouTube and Twitter, so come at me. Well, that's all I have for right now. I'm going to go work on that second part of that Conversations We Can't Have video. So, if you like what you've heard so far, like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter and Gab. Peace, love, Tau Rho.